Okay, epic. So for our Basquiat Pez dispenser study, you are going to need the following materials: white paper, yellow construction paper or painted paper, glue, scissors, either crayons, markers, or oil pastels, a pencil, paint in dark colors of any kind, so watercolor, acrylic, tempera, a paintbrush, and you're going to want to cover your work area with a painting placemat or newspaper. So today for our Basquiat Pez dispenser study, we are going to start by using our pencil to draw a dinosaur that's a similar shape to the one pictured in Basquiat's Pez dispenser. You're going to want to use your white paper for that and set it up portrait style in your workspace or vertically. And let's make sure when we're drawing that we're drawing lightly, because we're going to paint over this, okay? The way that I would describe starting, first of all, make sure there's some space at the top of your page because we're going to be adding a crown. So start a little ways down, and then you're going to want to draw an oval type shape for the head, and then make a little indent. Maybe not that much of an indent. Let me see. Yeah, so make an indent like that. And then to draw the body, think about it as drawing a sort of banana shape. That connects to the head. And then we're going to want to draw legs and arms. So I'm going to draw these arms out with some triangular shaped fingers. We're going to be painting this in, so I don't want it to be too thin or anything. And then I'll draw this leg here. And another leg. Again, I'm painting it, so I don't want it to be too thin. Okay, now I'm just going to go over it since it's in pencil and just edit any of the shape that I want to make a little smoother. That was my rough outline. I'm just going to go in and fix it up to make it more of this T-Rex shape. And once I have it how I want it, which is like this, that feels perfect to me, I'm going to paint it black. So I'm going to get my paintbrush, my black paint that I've gotten out. You could also use any other dark color, excuse me for not saying that. You can use any dark color paint. I'm choosing to use black, but any color is fine. And again, this can be any type of paint. So go ahead and fill the whole thing in with your dark color. Okie dokes. Now that I've gotten that all painted in, first of all, you'll notice that my lines are not the cleanest. I did try my best, so make sure you're trying, but it's okay if the lines are not perfectly clean. We are going to be adding on to this more details. And now I'm going to set this aside to dry, and I'm going to get my yellow construction paper or painted paper so that I can make the signature Basquiat crown for this. I am going to sketch out a crown shape, the signature Basquiat crown with 3 points. And then I'm going to cut it out. Okay, so now that we have our crown and we've given that some time, our dinosaur some time to dry, we're gonna glue our crown above our dinosaur's head. So I have some pencil marks on this side of my crown. So that's the side I'm gonna put the glue on so that I don't have to see those pencil marks on my final piece. So I'm gonna put the glue on here and then I'm gonna glue this Basquiat crown above like this. Excellent. I'm gonna go into the step now of outlining various parts of this piece to make it more representative of Basquiat's work. But while my dinosaur is drying, I know I can pick a contrasting color to outline my crown. So I used yellow, so black is very easy for me to choose. If you used a different color for the crown, just pick a color that seems like, if you picked a cool color, pick a warm color, or vice versa. A dark color, pick a light color. And I'm gonna go through and outline this in a really rough, sketchy kind of way to emulate Basquiat's style. I'm trying to make it look pretty rough. All right, great. That is how I want that to look. And now I'm gonna let my dinosaur dry for a few more minutes before I move on to outlining parts of the dinosaur. I should say that while I'm letting my dinosaur dry, I'm not gonna be using paint again, so this is a good time to take my brushes over to the sink and wash them off and dry them, to put away my paint because I'm not gonna need those parts anymore. So I can start some of that cleanup now so that I don't accidentally make a mess with the paint and so that I don't have to clean it up later. So now that my paint is mostly dry, I'm going to start taking inspiration from Basquiat's Pez dispenser and really adding in some of those white highlights along the belly and the tail, some of that yellow outline and some of the spikes, the teeth, the nostrils, those kinds of things. So I've got a white oil pastel. You could be using a white crayon though, or a white colored pencil. And I'm going to do that highlight along the belly that Basquiat has on his. So come down here, and also it comes down this front leg. And then I'm gonna do that highlight along the tail as well. I'm making mine slightly different, but similar. And I'm also going to take inspiration and do this yellow outline that Basquiat has around the arms and face here. I think it would also be nice to do similar spikes. So I see his spikes start along the head here and come all the way down. So I'm going to do that too. I'm going to color those in. Now I'm going to go through and add some outlines throughout. And some of them I'm going to do in the same way that Basquiat did, and some I'm going to do of my own design. So go ahead and start doing that with your crayons or oil pastels. Start adding in some various outlines to imitate Basquiat's style of having these brightly colored outlines throughout the Pez dispenser piece. Alrighty, now I have a dinosaur that's looking very similar to Basquiat's Pez Dispenser piece. I've got the yellow crown, I've got my dinosaur with its outlines and bright colors. And here's where I'm going to diverge from Basquiat a bit, because I don't want to create the exact same piece that he did. So I'm going to create a background for this, and I'm still going to make it in a style that is similar to and calls back to Basquiat style, but I'm going to make it look a bit different from his Pez Dispenser piece, so that again I'm not just making an exact replica of his painting. So I'm going to take some bright colored or oil pastels. You can use pastels, markers, crayons, or colored pencils, and I'm just going to add in some really arbitrary and fun and silly random patches of color throughout the whole background, leaving white space, but just adding in some fun elements here like that. Now our final step is I'm going to take some black, so take a black crayon, oil pastel, marker, or colored pencil, or you can use black paint if you want, and I am going to add some visual contrast to this background by adding some squiggles, maybe some polka dots or circles, some other shapes, and I'm just going to keep doing that until I feel like I'm satisfied with how the background looks. I don't want to make it too busy, but I do want it to be filled in. Okay, and there is my finished piece. This is my piece inspired by Jean-Michel Basquiat's Pez Dispenser, and I can't wait to see your finished piece posted on your dojo portfolio so that I can comment, give feedback, and just see the amazing work and skill that you put into creating yours. Until next time.